Well, good Sunday evening. I'm Leslie Marin. This is KCAL 9 News at 9, live and streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. We do begin with that breaking news in San Pedro. 2 people are dead tonight, 5 others hurt after a shooting at Peck Park. Here's a map where it can show you that location. Now we know the gunfire erupted at the park, which is on Western Avenue and Summerlin Avenue this afternoon. The LAPD shut down the entire park for this investigation. We do have live team coverage tonight of that mass shooting. We do begin with KCAL 9's Lori Perez on the ground at Peck Park with the latest on this investigation. Lori.
Leslie, 5 hours after the first calls of a shooting came in, LAPD remains here in force, part of the immense response that descended on Peck Park as reports came in of a shooting with perhaps multiple victims and perhaps multiple suspects. The investigation is now centered on the park down Crestwood Ave here. If you go down this street and to the right, that leads into Peck Park. I know Sky 9 is overhead and can give us an even better shot of the investigation inside the park. We now know that, as you said, there are 7 victims, 4 men and 3 women. 2 have died from their injuries. We understand the victims were found in more than one part of the park, including on a baseball field, also near what police say was an unpermitted car show that attracted about 500 people. The city went on tactical alert, all hands on deck as dozens of police rushed here. They locked down the park. No one was in or out as they looked for suspects, wanting to speak to everyone leaving to clear them before they left, making sure they were not injured and not involved. And even now, the entire park remains closed off as one big crime scene. Police are not releasing information about the suspects, aside from saying they do not have anyone in custody. It might be multiple suspects. And this was a dispute, they believe, between 2 parties, which tells me they have a lead on who these people might be. They say it was very quickly determined this was not an active shooter situation, but still, in the early moments of this response, LA City Fire worked with LAPD to safely enter the park to respond to victims.
The original call came out as having multiple shooting victims on the baseball diamond of Peck Park. As we speak here, this is an ongoing active crime scene, and we're continuing to clear the park for evidence and potentially additional victims.
We did have a total of 67 firefighters on scene, so that's 7 fire companies and 17 ambulances. So we did definitely lean forward due to the potential severity of this incident, due to the potential unknown. The fire department and police department worked very close together to ensure safety, and that we worked very rapidly on scene.
And behind several lengths of yellow crime scene tape, the investigation will likely continue well into the night. LAPD is investigating witness reports the shooter or shooters were wearing body armor. They're trying to confirm that. Again, no information yet on the suspects, but no one yet in custody. Tonight, they are looking for those suspects along with any other victims and any other information that might help explain how and why this happened today here in Peck Park in San Pedro. We're live in San Pedro. I'm Lori Perez. Back to you.
Lori, thank you so much. There has been a lot of heartbreak and worry tonight in that community among many families. Our KCAL 9's Rick Montanez continues our team coverage live in San Pedro tonight with what you're learning tonight, Rick, about at least one of those victims.
Yeah, Leslie, first we want to show you we are across the street from the park right now. So all of the action happened here, but in the neighborhoods behind us, that is where people heard a lot of the shooting. We talked with some of them, and just a few hours ago, I spoke to a woman here just outside of the crime scene at the park who feared her adoptive son was among those killed. She just texted me a short time ago and confirmed he died in the shooting. 7 people injured, 2 dead at Peck Park. Monique Howard rushed here when she heard the news.
Yeah, they was shooting.
She feared her sons were in the park.
They was moving. Hey, everybody was in distraught. I don't know how to tell you anything otherwise.
And she heard Sunday evening her adoptive son is one of the 2 people shot and killed. She identified him only by the name Taz.
He lived with me. I took care of him.
All around the large crime scene, neighbors came out to watch the investigation. Some say the park is known to have problems but nothing this violent.
Yeah, somewhat surprised. You're always surprised when it's your neighborhood.
Charlie Peterson and Dorothy Ridley just arrived from San Diego, checking into their hotel when the shooter opened fire.
We heard all the sirens and the helicopters and everything, and I'm horrified, of course.
It's surprising that it happens this close to us. Usually see it on the news, but never right across the street from where we're staying.
As the police investigation continues into this deadly shooting in a crowded park, Monique Howard says she's frustrated by the violence.
Today, we need to do better. That's it. We need to do better.
And so among the people we talked with today, most of them said they didn't notice any problems with the car clubs or car shows that happen in the area. Also tonight, we are still trying to learn more information about the two people killed. Again, one of them identified only by the name of Taz, about 30 years old. We will, of course, bring you new information when we learn it. Reporting live in San Pedro, Rick Montanez, KCAL 9 News.
Rick, devastating. Thank you so much. Of course, stay with KCAL 9 News throughout the night for continuing coverage of the deadly park shooting in San Pedro. This here, a live look from Sky 9. As you can see, investigators sifting through if they can find any more evidence. But we will have the latest developments as they do become available.